Welcome everybody to today's video. I am here in Kansas City, Missouri. You see the Ameristar Casino right there. I am here at the Love's Travel Stops. I'm parked here until tomorrow morning, tomorrow being Friday, but we're gonna do something kind of special, something out of the ordinary. I'm supposed to be doing a reset. Usually when I'm doing my 34-hour reset as a truck driver, I'm supposed to be at home, but I'm actually here until my load is ready tomorrow in Warrensburg, Missouri. So, in the meantime, we're gonna go do something kind of special. So come along with me. All right, so we have made it to our destination. We are here at the Harry S. Truman Library and Museum in Kansas City. This will be the first time I've ever visited a presidential museum and have visited a presidential grave. If you've been a follower of my channel at any sort or any time, you know that I love cemeteries and I visit them as often as I possibly can. I don't always record, and I'm usually filming at the Salt Lake City Cemetery, and I claim that those are famous graves, but if you think about it, the Salt Lake City Cemetery is like famous graves to locals, people who are members of the LDS Church. Well, this is not that case, so I'm excited to try this out. Harry S. Truman was the 33rd president of the United States of America, taking over for FDR after he suddenly passed at the end of World War II. I guess you can say Harry Truman kind of won it for the Allies in the Second World War. I'm not exactly sure what to expect here. This is just kind of a spur of the moment thing. I don't know if I'll be talking a lot or at all, but I just kind of want to do this as like a little walkthrough tour. I should actually probably go ahead and add in that while I'm here, there might be moments where I am quiet and I might add in dialogue later on, or just kind of record the surroundings of what's being said around, because it's just, I want to kind of get the ambiance for it all. I guess that's his home behind the heart over there. And now with that being said, let's go ahead and let's check out some of the rules they have here. So no weapons, smoking, e-cigs, flash drives, selfies to tripods, photography, selfies to tripods, or monopods. We'll see if they'll allow me to do this, because I'm just using the GoPro. Hopefully I can use that, but we'll see how it goes. I'm not going to be here to be malicious. I'm just here to pay my respects. Just document here. I know this place has been documented a few times, but we will go from there. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this in here. Admission wasn't too bad. It was about $12 just to get in. That's not bad at all. Okay, so walking in.
Mark in every American heart is about Truman. Can he swing the job? And despite his limited capabilities, I think he can.
So the little video was just saying that Truman was only vice president for 82 days before he became president. I guess he was vice president when FDR got elected to his last term before he passed away.
Presidential and vice presidential nominees. Senator Harry S. Truman of Missouri is nominated as the running mate for FDR. It's been my privilege to be a United States Senator for the past 2.5 years, and I expect to continue the efforts to help start the war and win the peace under the direction of our great leader, Franklin D. Roosevelt. Returning to Washington with Mr. Roosevelt, Harry Truman was now the Vice President
After his inauguration, Vice President Truman said,
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
Yeah.
Germany
Scary.
Yeah.
Sharon will be President Truman went immediately to the White House.
This question mark in every American heart is about Truman. Can he swing the job? And despite his limited capabilities, I think he can.
He comes into office almost unknown to the people he belongs. They will await with great anxiety the result of the test that he has to make.
Jay. Jay.
When people think of President Truman, it is with a mixture of friendliness, loyalty, and gentle.
What put it on this plan?
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Just like watching it.
I believe it.
His wife's father committed suicide in 43.
Right.
His wife is suicide. That's the
This is the difference. See the strong value in him.
Battery D moved into position, setting up their artillery at Cheppy. Truman's orders were to protect only his own division. But through his binoculars, he spotted Germans aiming their artillery at another American division. Disobeying orders, he told his men to fire on the Germans. Truman said, fire at will, fire as fast as you can. We just poured them in there.
Truman didn't panic. He had his firing data exact. He knocked all 4 of the Germans' guns out.
While Truman was threatened with a court-martial for disregarding orders, nothing came of it. In the final weeks of the war, the 129th Field Artillery moved into action in Verdun. They fired their last shots 15 minutes before the armistice took effect. Harry wrote best, "I brought my battery forward under fire and never lost a horse nor a man."
He had a very quiet sort of way of serving, so he was a disciplinarian, but very fair. I can't describe him as personal, except that at it.
He wasn't a military character, especially. He was like a man getting his family around a table and telling them what he could expect of everybody.
In their short time together, Truman won his men's admiration and friendship for life.
Truman had respect for his men. His men had a lot of respect for him. That's the way it goes.
At the 11th hour, on the 11th day of the 11th month, 1918, the Great War ended.
President died of a cerebral hemorrhage. Vice President Harry Truman, who from here on will be President Truman, went immediately to the White House.
Inside in the historic Capitol, Vice President Harry S. Truman takes the oath of office as 32nd President, administered by Chief Justice Arlen Fisk-Stone.
For their proud behavior and running from capitals. They never
Give me land, lots of land, under starry skies above.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special news bulletin from CBS World News. A press association has just announced that President Roosevelt is dead. The president died of a cerebral hemorrhage. Vice President Harry Truman, who from here on will be President Truman, went immediately to the White House.
Inside in the historic Capitol, Vice President Harry S. Truman takes the oath of office as 32nd President, administered by Chief Justice Arlen Fisk-Stone. Mrs. Truman is at his side. President Truman asks the full Roosevelt.
died of a cerebral hemorrhage.
Vice President Harry Truman, who from here on will be President Truman, went immediately to the White House.
Inside in the historic cabinet room, Vice President Harry S. Truman takes the oath of office as 32nd President, administered by Chief Justice Harlan Fisk Stone. Mrs. Truman is at his side. President Truman asks the full Roosevelt cabinet to remain in office, expressing his intention to carry on American policies as formulated by the Roosevelt administration.
Vice President Harry Truman, who from here on will be President Truman, went immediately to the White House.
Inside in the historic cabinet room, Vice President Harry S. Truman takes the oath of office as 32nd President, administered by Chief Justice Harlan Fisk Stone. Mrs. Truman is at his side. President Truman asks the full Roosevelt cabinet to remain in office, expressing his intention to carry on American policies as formulated by the Roosevelt administration.
propaganda war going on. If you went to the movie and they were taught that it was German and Japanese doing German, and we were taught to hate German, Japanese, tail, uniform, and we hate
Victory. But what will victory bring? After 6 years of brutal war, Europe lies in ruins. Its people are starving, and President Truman finds himself at the head of a crumbling alliance. The threat of Nazi Germany has forced the United States and the Soviet Union into an uneasy partnership. But how long can this alliance last? Truman is troubled as Russia begins exerting control over Eastern Europe, but he won't risk sparking World War III. At the Potsdam Conference, he attempts to contain Soviet ambitions at the negotiating table, but fails. Within months of the conference, the Soviet Union installs communist governments in Albania and Poland. Bulgaria and Hungary seem poised to fall as well. Former British Prime Minister Winston Churchill issues a grim warning.
From Stettin in the Baltic to Trieste in the Adriatic, an iron curtain has descended across the continent.
Some of the president's advisors urge him to take a harder line. Truman agrees. When he appoints General George Marshall as his new Secretary of State, he knows Marshall, a tough, practical war hero, understands the consequences of letting communism go unchecked.
glad you have come to this historical institution. You're very welcome. This is Harry S. Truman speaking. This room is an exact reproduction of the presidential office in the West Wing of the White House as it was in the early 1950s. The furniture, the rug, the drapes are duplicates of those used in the White House when I was President of the United States. The pictures you see on the wall and the things you see on the desk are those I had in the White House. The almost hidden door on the right of the fireplace leads to the office of the President's private secretary. The one on the left leads to the corridor and to the cabinet room. Since the birth of the American Republic, the office of the President has grown and developed into the most important office of government in the history of the world. I hope that the exhibits in this library will give you, and especially the young people among you, a better understanding of the history and nature of the presidency and the government of the United States.
Okay, I just left the Presidential Library. I always like to leave with a little souvenir. I always look for like a little pin or a postcard or something like that, just to mark that I've actually been there, because I actually like to buy the pin from the actual place where I actually was. Just a $5 pin. Alright, outside again. I promised a friend I'd go look for a brick that he has here, so I'm gonna go right over there to go look for it. So right by the entrance and the exit of the Presidential Library, you find this little light pole. Come on. What helped me out, he sent me a couple of pictures, but what helped me out is like he pointed out the 2 hour living parents right there, and he's just a couple right here. Kurt Dion. He actually came out with the book. Kurt, if you're watching the video, go ahead and link your stuff down below. I know he's on Instagram. I'll go ahead and link his Instagram page down below in the description so you can go check out his Instagram page. Otherwise, Kurt, feel free to give yourself any other shout outs and links in the comment links and everything you have down on YouTube. Put it down in the comment section down below. Otherwise, that'll be the end of our video for today. Thank you for coming along with me for this video. It's the very first presidential library I've ever visited, very first presidential grave I have actually visited. Marked down 1 of 42 or 3, because I know we had a couple presidents who served a second term but not back to back. But they, like for example, our current one, 45 and 47. But we're not going to get into that. Anyways, thanks for watching today's video. Like and comment down below. Do yourself a favor and subscribe to the channel as well, because I've noticed that the majority of the people who watch my videos are not subscribers to the channel. So do yourself a favor and do me a favor by subscribing to the channel. Hit that notification bell to get notified whenever I post a new video. Comment down below and share the video with your friends, family, whoever likes these types of videos. I hope I can be able to do this more often in the future. It's just that I happen to be in the area, down for the day from work. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Hello out there in YouTube land. I'm coming to you at the end of this very video. I know this video has been going on for a long time. But as of the recording of this video, this little portion of the video is Tuesday, September 16th, 2025. So it's been almost 2 weeks exactly since I filmed at the Harry S. Truman Presidential Library and grave. You probably noticed a little blip in the video about the candy bomber. Well, I don't know if anybody knows this. You probably do. But the candy bomber was actually born in Salt Lake City, Utah, and he died here in Provo, Utah in 2022. I am standing at the Provo City Cemetery, and as you have guessed, I came to pay my respects, come pay a visit to the candy bomber himself, Gail Seymour Halverson. Like you see here, he was born October 10th, 2020, and died February 16, 2022, so fairly recently. He is buried here next to his wife, Alto Jolly, his angel, and as you can see, her candy bomber. They're married here in Utah. He was a senior officer and a command pilot in the United States Air Force, and he rose to fame for dropping candy to German children during the Berlin airlift from 1948 to 49, for which he received his nickname as the Berlin Candy Bomber, or Uncle Wiggly Rings. Now, that's why he became the candy bomber, and it became a tradition here in Utah almost every single year during like Pioneer Days on July 24th or even July 4th. July 24th is Pioneer Day here in Utah. That is when the pioneers entered the Utah Valley in 1847, and it's been a state holiday ever since. July 24th. And every July 24th and every 4th of July, Gail Halverson, the candy bomber, he would fly over the skies all over the state of Utah, here in Provo, here in Salt Lake City, St. George, all over. And as per tradition, he would fly over and he would drop candy out for all the kids where all the parades are going. They had parades in his honor. He would join like local parades. He was a legend. And I know that there is only a little bit of a blip in the video at the Harry S. Truman Library as the candy bomber. This is him. Anyways, I hope everybody enjoyed today's video. I know it had taken a little while to get it out, published, because it was a long video. I actually had recorded all of it, as much of the museum as I possibly could, because not everybody gets the chance to be able to visit any sort of museum like that, or a library or anything like that. And that's why I did the video. And I want to say I recorded about 90% of the entire thing, because it was huge. I wanted to actually learn something, because I am a huge World War II guy. I love World War II stuff, especially since I lived in Germany for 8 years and the bulk of the war happened there in Europe. I would have come here to film last week. I tried to come film here last week. And you see, here's the location of the candy bomber, but there was actually a funeral coming along last week. Right here, you can see right there. That's where the person was getting, that's where he or she had passed away. And, well, not had passed away, but that's where they are buried. And I did not want to be disrespectful and just randomly come up here just to film a grave. And I was planning on coming to film this little portion again last Wednesday, but I had some errands I had to go run. I just didn't get enough time to film it last week, so now I have some time to come add this into the video. Anyways, again, thank you for watching today's video. Please like and subscribe, and share this video with your family and friends, and especially those history buffs that you are interested in. Thank you for your watch, and I will talk to you in the next video. See ya.
Hey everybody. Everybody watching has to subscribe. Subscribing is cool. Thanks.